What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another video. In today's video we have another unboxing slash review slash install, whatever you want to call it. We're going to unbox some more Boost Auto parts that we got sent to us for the truck. If you already missed, we did our turn signals on our mirrors from Boost Auto. I'll have those linked in the description for you guys to go watch. But today we have their sequential switchback LED cab lights. And what's really cool about these is we got them in white. You can get them white and amber, but we actually got them in white. And what's cool about them is during the daytime running light or at nighttime just running lights, they are white. But when you go to turn a turn signal, they will blink whether it's right or going left with our side mirrors. And whenever you have your hazards on, they'll go to that amber color. But when it's normal running, whether it's daytime or at night, they will be white. So it's actually pretty cool. So you're definitely going to want to stay tuned to the end of this video. So what we're going to go ahead and do is kind of do an overview about them, show you what comes in the box, how to properly install it, and let's go ahead and get into the video. So what I want to go ahead and show you guys is what actually comes in the box. So right here, you'll have your module. So what this does, and we'll open it up and show you out of the box. This is pretty much the brain of your cab lights, like the computer, whatever you want to call it. This is what tells it how to turn on and how to function. You're going to want to tap into one of your stock wires that goes to your cab light. So I'm going to show how to do that when we go to install this. But this is what's going to tell it to do that sequence of your turn signals and have it going from LED to amber. So pretty cool. We're going to put that to the side for now. Now what I want to show you guys actually is what the box looks like that your cab lights come in. So this is them right here. When you open it up, I've already off camera installed the cab lights. I was pressed for time before, but I'm going to go over and show you guys what to do when you're installing it. But this is what it looks like when you open it up. You're going to notice that they're labeled 1 to 5. They are labeled for specific reasons for fitments that Boost Auto says. So I guess every single one is different fitting wise, so you're going to want to do them in the right order. So what it's going to be is, one is going to start on the passenger side. So I'll turn the camera and you guys can kind of see. Passenger side is going to start 1, 5 being driver's side. So you're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 when you're installing to make sure it has the right and proper fitment. So that's what comes in the box, and then you can kind of see it on the back. It's got a check mark of what you have. So you can see here we have sequential switchback and startup sequence right there checked off. Pretty nice packaging. Always quality stuff with Boost Auto. So now what we're going to go ahead and do is I'm going to go ahead and show you guys the process or what you are supposed to do on how to take whatever you have off, how to drop the headliner to get to and be able to access your cab lights. So we're going to go ahead and do that now. So what you're going to want to do when you come into the cab is you're going to want to come in here. You're going to want to pull your visor down. So when you pull your visor out of the way, there's a Torx bit, as you can see in here, 2 there, and then so forth on the passenger side. You're going to want to take these Torx bits out, take your visor, move it off to the side. Then you're going to come over here, use a pry tool, and you're going to want to pry this out, this plastic piece. Don't worry, there's clips here and here that hold this. It's not going to break anything. You're going to want to unclip it. There's going to be 2 connections on here that you're going to disconnect, and then there's going to be 2 Phillips head screws, one here and one here, that you're going to take a Phillips head screwdriver and you were going to disconnect or take out, and then this whole thing will fall. And then the next thing you're going to want to do is come over here to your pillars, and again, there is a torque bit screw here and here, and you're going to undo these on the driver's side and on the passenger side as well. Pull these pillars down, and then what you're going to do is you're going to come over here and you're going to take this surround that seals your door when you shut your door. Pull this piece on your floorboard off, pull the seal out. This will come down, and then you can start pulling your headliner down just to drop it ever so slightly so that we can have access right here where this runs along to our cab lights so that we can disconnect them. And when you get to this point, when you drop the headliner for your lights, the top of my roof is dirty, as you can see from being in the shop. there's two 8mm bolts that you're gonna have to get out, and then there's a connection on the bottom. Let me see if I actually have one of my stock lights that you can see, one of my cab lights. Yeah. So there's a connector pin on the bottom like this that you're gonna disconnect, but these are those two posts that we were just talking about from when it sits on the roof like that. Two 8mm nuts, and then there's a connector right there that you'll take out when it sits like that. So what you're gonna wanna do when you do that is when you take your cab lights off, clean the area with whatever you want, brake cleaner, wipes, anything, or your choice of cleaner. Clean it, put these down in, like I said, 1 being on the passenger side, starting to 5 over here on the driver's side. Then you're gonna make sure that they're seated correctly, everything lines up in the hole, and then on the bottom, where your cab light would be right here, you're gonna wanna then tighten the 8mm bolts and plug in to our harness that's gonna run across to ensure that everything is sealed and seated in place. And then after that, you're gonna push the Velcro on the headliner back in. You're gonna put everything back. You're gonna tighten up your Torx bits. You're gonna put your visors back. You're gonna put your center light on. And then you're also gonna run your surround back. You can go ahead and put that pillar on, but we're gonna actually take this pillar back off because there's a line that runs in here that I'm gonna show you that we're gonna have to tap in and put our modular in. So I actually had to correct myself. You're gonna wanna pop these out, and there's actually 7, they weren't torque bits, they were 7mm bolt heads that you're gonna take off. But you're gonna pop the plastic piece off that's right here, because this is where our modular is gonna sit, and I'm gonna set you guys up the camera so that you can see me start doing this, and then I'll kind of explain along the way what I'm doing. All right, so what you're gonna do, let's see. All right, so what you're gonna do is come right here, move your seal, and you're gonna come through and just pop this plastic piece out just like that, so we have access to here so that our modular can go there. So like I was saying before, we got our modular right here. We got power and ground, and then we have our blue and black. The black wire we're not going to use, but the blue wire right here that you see is going to go up and give our connect to our cab lights so that our modular will tell them to turn on and work. So what you can go ahead and do is take this black wire and you can fold it back right here, and we're going to actually tape it so that it's out of our way. Alright, so now that that's out, I'll bring you guys over here, and you'll see we are actually going to trim some of this back right here where our harness is so we can actually tap into one of these wires. Alright, so my camera died, so now we're on my phone camera, so if the quality lacks, sorry about that. But we now pulled this, so it's important that you see it's a yellow and green wire right here on my index finger. You want to double check and make sure for 08 to 2010 Super Duties, it is a white and purple wire, and for 11 through 16, it is yellow and green. Again, 08 to 2010, white and purple. 11 through 16, yellow and green. We are working right now on a 2015, so we are going to cut the yellow and green wire, as you're about to see right here. Just like that, and then what we're going to do is we are going to strip both ends, and this end is where our modular is going to connect to. Now that end is the end that is going to connect into our Boost Auto harness right here. We're going to put it in the nut connector. connector. Then you're going to come back and you are going to crimp it. Now that that is nice and crimped and snug, you can electrical tape it back if you want, or if you got some heat shrink. I'm going to take some electrical tape and wrap it just to make sure that it's secure. But now we're going to take our opposite end right here, this other end that you can see, and we're going to connect our harness that was provided that I forgot to mention earlier right here. Now that we have that in place, we're going to take our power wire and connect it to our module. That's going to be the orange wire with red and blue. Once that's in, we're now going to take our orange wire, as you can see right here, give it about 8 inches of slide, and what we're going to do is we are going to cut it, and it is going to go into our wire that we just butt connected. We're going to connect it there now. So you're going to strip it again, and then you're going to connect this to the butt connector on the factory wire that we cut. When you're done, it's gonna look like that. And there's our power wire. All right, so once you come through here, as you see, we have a bunch of wires going through there. That's the grommet that you're gonna wanna pass your wires through. So now we're gonna hook it on a hanger, or just anything that can flex that can get through this grommet. So it made it a little bit easier for us. We already had our wheel well liner out. We could pull it through there and got it to come through up and into here. So now what I'm gonna do is just button this up, secure this in here. We're gonna button this up so it's not in here jingling around. We're probably gonna zip tie it right here or to one of these, and it's gonna sit in place like so. And we're gonna put our trim piece back on and our weather stripping back on. All right, now it's time to go back under the hood. We got it all back in place, as you can see, like it's supposed to. So now I'll go under the hood. All right, so for the next part of this install, what you're gonna have to actually do is access our headlight, because we're gonna have to tap into the turning signal since we have the switchback sequential turning signals. So what we're gonna have to do in order to get to these headlights, we're gonna have to remove our grill. So on our grill, we have a bolt here, 1, 2, 3, 4 bolts across the top that we're going to have to take off, and then there's 5 clips underneath that we're going to take a flathead screwdriver and pop out to remove the grill. And then there's a bolt here, here, 2 here, which is why we have to remove the grill to be able to get to them. 08 to 2010 F250s, the grill comes up with the hood, so you don't have to do that. So what we're going to do now is go ahead and remove this grill and get this headlight out. It's a 10mm socket. Push the 5 tabs with the top of a large flathead screwdriver so they come out so we can take the grill out. So now what we're going to do is go ahead and remove our headlight bolts. Tell you guys, it probably made it easier that I don't have my bumper on, because that last bottom one is a pain to get because it always falls or gets stuck, but kind of made it easier to have my bumper off. since I'm in the middle of rebuilding my truck. But now we're gonna pop this out, disconnect it, and I'm gonna show you guys exactly which wire we're gonna tap into. So like this, it's a little finagling. Now we're gonna wanna open this up, see your connectors. Now we're just gonna pop these out with these little clips. You're just gonna push down and pull out. Just like that. And we're gonna go ahead and disconnect everything else that we have connecting our headlights so that we can get to that wire. Now that we have our headlight out, you're going to want to see right here, this is where we're looking for. If we're going from the third one on the bottom, this being the top, it's this bottom bluish, tealish, actually it looks like a greenish, bluish wire right there. We're going to want to tap into that. So what we're going to do is cut back on our wire loom right here, expose it, and put a T-clip on there, and then run our turn signal wire through here so we can tap into that. All right, so now that we got that exposed, like I said, you want to go to this wire right here, and we are going to install a T-tap so that we can put our wire connected to the. We're going to put our T-tap right here like this. Get you a set of crimpers. Put it right there like that. And crimp it down into place like so. All right, so now what we're gonna do is take our red and blue bar that we ran right here, if you can see that right there. We're gonna run it to the headlight. And what we're gonna do is give it a little bit of slack. Let me finish running this wire down through here. What we're gonna do is we're gonna give it a little bit of slack, and we are going to cut it. We're going to cut it, strip it, and then crimp it to our T-tap, and then tap this wire into our turn signal. Nice and snug. Now we're going to take it and plug it into our T-tap. Like so. Just like that. So now what we're going to do with our remaining wires, our red and green, and our power wires, is we are going to route those to the passenger side. Our red and green, we're going to do the same process we just did here, removing the headlight, tapping into the same bluish, greenish wire with the red and green, and then red and black for our power are going to connect to our other battery. Alright, so now what we're going to do is we're going to take the inline fuse that was provided to us, and we're going to take this end right here, and we're going to pair it with our power wire. So what we're going to do is come right here, give ourselves enough slack, about there, and we are going to cut this, and we are going to cut that end, and we are going to butt connect it here into our butt connector. Like so. Now that we got that crimp now, you can use a heat gun or a torch and shrink that. So as you'll see at the end of the other fuse, or at the end of the fuse, we're going to take this and we're going to crimp a ring terminal on here and put this to our power on our battery. Now what you're going to want to do is take your other wire, our ground wire, we're going to do the same thing, give it the same amount of slack that we did our power wire, and we are going to crimp it to a ring terminal like just did on our fuse here, we're going to strip it. We're going to crimp it to the ring terminal. We're going to connect this to our ground. So now what we're going to do is take our 10mm, loosen this up so that we can fit our ring terminal onto our ground. Now that all that is done, we can install our grill. So now what I'm going to do for you guys is turn the lights off and show you the features. Alright, so that is going to conclude our video on the Boost Auto S-Series cab lights. I hope you liked it. Pretty simple install. I'm going to link in their description not only their website or a link to where you can get these, but I'm also going to link a YouTube video on Boost Auto's channel. It's more in-depth, and if there's anything I didn't explain the best or anything more in-depth you want to see, they have a video going over exactly what I just did. So huge shout out to Boost Auto. I want to thank Boost Auto for being a huge part of the channel and for sending us products to put on the build. That's pretty much going to end the video here. I want to thank you. Leave a comment down below if you would like to see anything more from Boost Auto or anything that you'd like me to review truck related. Yeah, that's going to be it. We got more videos coming. I want to thank you guys for watching. Like and subscribe, and as always, I will see you